This E93 looks fantastic, but it's missing something. It's missing this. Let's take a look at how to install our Alpha 1 speakers and amp on this E93. Installation of our speakers and amp are super simple and DIY friendly and very easy to get done with our DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Tool Kit, both of which you can find on our website. But if you don't feel comfortable doing this yourself, you can find one of our installers near you. We have them in about 30 countries around the world. You can find them by heading on over to our website, or if you are in the Orlando, Florida area, then stop on by like this E93 owner did and we can do it for you. Our speaker and amp kit are gonna sound worlds better than anything you have in your BMW now, be it the factory bass system, the hi-fi system, or anything else. These speakers and amp will blow it out of the water. Our tweeters are gonna give those crisp highs, our mids, those warm tones, and the bass is just going to be bumping with our subs. And the amp is gonna give you so many more options than you've had in your BMW before, including more inputs, the ability for an external sub, and the quality of the sound is amazing. And if you wanna learn more about these speakers and amp, make sure you check out the rest of the videos on this YouTube channel where Mac, our audio guru, will tell you everything you need to know. But without further ado, let's get on to the installation. Jarrett, take it away. Oh, and me, because I actually do the speakers on this one.
Let's start with the door speakers. Start by using a BimmerTech trim tool and your hands to remove the decorative trim. Next, remove the handle trim by prying up from the bottom. Finally, remove the 5 T20 screws. There is 1 in the handle and 4 along the middle. Once all the screws are out, use a trim tool in your hands to pry the panel off. Remove the door handle cable and remove all of the other connectors simply by pulling. Let's bring the panel over to our workbench. Remove the 3 T20 screws holding the speaker in place and remove it. Take a spacer kit from your Alpha 1 box and place 1 spacer on each screw hole like so. Place the Alpha 1 speaker on top of it and install the 3 new T20 screws from the spacer kit. Let's get to the tweeter. Grab the tweeter trim and articulate it out. Remove the foam like so. With a pick tool, carefully pry back the retaining tabs while applying upward pressure on the tweeter to pop it free. Snap the Alpha 1 tweeter in place. Reinstall the foam.
Take your filter cable and plug mid-out into one of the ports on the speaker.
To reinstall the trim, slide in the bottom tab first, then snap the rest in place. It may take a couple tries.
Plug the tweeter cable into the other port on the speaker, and make sure the lead from the amp is plugged into the other side of the filter cable.
Plug everything back in you took out. When it comes to the door handle, make sure it is in the proper position and reinstall the cable. Line up all of the fasteners. Feed the door pin in place. And snap the panel back in place. Reinstall all 5 screws and both trim pieces, and you're done. For the rear speakers, start by pulling up and removing the bottom rear of the seat. Next, use your trim tool and hands to remove the decorative trim. You can pull off this armrest for easier access to the screws. Remove the 2 T20 screws. Pull up and away on the trim to remove it. You may find it easier to remove the side seat bolster, which we do for reinstallation. Remove the 3 connectors by pulling. Remove the 3 T20 screws holding the speaker in place. Remove it and add the 3 spacers. Put the speaker in place and screw it down with the new screws. For reinstallation, we decided to remove the side bolster to make things easier. Just pull away from the bottom. If the locking tab stays in the car, pinch it out and snap it back into the bolster. Plug in all of the connectors you took out, including the speaker connector, which you'll plug into the filter cable. Add the filter cable mid-out to one of the ports. Line up the tabs on the two panels. Articulate the panel you took out back into place. And snap it down. Reinstall the screws, the side bolster, armrest, and decorative trim. Jared had some more work to do on the car, so we left the rear seat out, but you'll want to put that back too. Now for the subs. Start by moving the seat all the way back. Remove the two T50 screws holding the front of the seat down. Slide the seat all the way forward. Remove the three T50 screws back here, 2 on the outside and 1 on the inside. Once free, carefully tilt the seat back to expose the sub grille. Remove all of the T20 screws holding the grille down. Remove the grille. Remove the 4 T20 screws securing the sub to the vehicle. Disconnect the harness by pressing in the center tab and pulling. I use the trim tool to assist with pushing it in. Put the Alpha 1 sub in its place. Plug it in. Use the factory T20 screws you removed to secure it. Replace the grille and reinstall all of the screws. Carefully drop the seat back in place and reinstall all T50 screws. It may be smart not to tighten them down all of the way until each one is lined up in place. Once they are, finish tightening them down. Now for the amp. Start by putting up the top to gain as much access to the trunk as possible. Open the trunk and remove the floor panel. Next, remove this cover plate by pulling. For For this corner plate, use a trim tool to rotate the locking tab 90 degrees and pull the trim out. For this side trim, use a trim tool to remove the 2 fasteners on top. Next, open the storage compartment like so and rotate the locking tab 90 degrees. You may need a screwdriver if it's tight. There are also 2 more in the back. And 2 more up front that need to be rotated. They all need to be removed. In the back corner, loosen the Phillips screw in the fastener and then pop the fastener out. To get these panels out, Jared found it best to get the top to its halfway position. Once there, that will allow the panel to lift out and the storage tray to lift out as well. This will expose the amp. Put the top all the way back up to give yourself more room. To remove the factory bracket, remove the 4 8mm bolts holding it in place. Once free, pull the bracket out. Disconnect the 1 connector by pressing in the center tab and rotating the arm. To remove the amp, slide out the 2 locking wedges. They will be tight. Have a good grasp on the amp so you don't drop it. Take the Alpha 1 amp with pre-mounted bracket and place it here where it will go. Take this time to plug the harness into the amp. Each connector can only go in 1 port. If you want, you can tidy up any slack like Jarrett did as well. Place the USB cable in on the other side as well. Take the assembly over to the car and slide it in like so. Plug the BMW connector into the Alpha 1 harness. Place it in and rotate the arm to pull it down and lock it into place. Reinstall the 8mm bolts. When it comes to the one on the lower left of the screen, make sure it goes through the Alpha 1 bracket as well. For reassembly, get the roof in the halfway position again, starting with this panel. Then lower the roof halfway. Place the storage tray bottom back in. Reinsert the front locking tabs. And rotate them 90 degrees to secure them. Articulate the side panel in. It will take some wiggling. Reinstall the last 3 locking tabs and rotate them 90 degrees to secure them. Make sure it's under the weather stripping. Insert the 2 fasteners in the back and the 1 Phillips fastener. Reinstall the corner panel and secure the locking tab. If you realize you forgot to feed the USB cable to the storage tray like Jared did, remove the 1 locking tab, feed the USB cable under into the tray, and secure the tab. This USB cable will be used if you ever need to digitally access the amp in the future. Put the roof fully back up to reinstall the last panel. Snap the last trim piece back in. Put the floor panel back in, and you're done.
And that is how you install our Alpha 1 speakers and amp on your E93. Do you want this for your BMW? Of course you do. Head on over to our website and enter your VIN and find the correct kit for you. And again, if you want to install these yourself, make sure you pick up our DIY Essentials kit and our trim tool kit. And if you don't want to do it yourself, find one of our certified installers near you, again, in around 30 countries around the world. And once again, if you are in the Orlando, Florida area, well then stop on by and we can do it for you. For more tips and tricks, product reviews, installs, and so much more for BMWs, Minis, and Supras, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss any notifications about our upcoming videos. Plenty with Mac talking about all the audio here. And make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.